Hello wrestling fans, it's time for me to be speaking of wrestling, and I just watched the August 14th episode of SmackDown. I think it was a pure good showing, good matches, good build up for SummerSlam, great tension, great crowd as always in Canada, that provides with great atmosphere around the matches. They really care, they're into it, and a lot of these fans are also a bit more adult and mature than the American fans, which are at least 50% built up by kids, and the other 25% are the kids' parents. So kids in America, mostly they're kids in the crowd making up for the atmosphere, which makes it kind of boring, because Canadian fans are interested, they are smarks, they know more about the characters than what they see on TV. They know that's what they see on TV is not the only thing they can get, because there are always more about behind it, and it's also harder to convince smarks to cheer whom they're supposed to cheer and boo whom WWE wants them to boo. And as I said, great showing. This was in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. First thing that came to my mind, of course, Chris Benoit. I don't know if WWE has had any Raw SmackDown in Edmonton, Alberta since the tragedy in June 2007 with Chris Benoit and his family. I don't know, but that was the first thing that came up to my mind. However, I was able to shrug that off and enjoy the show, because it was a great show. I like the Dolph Ziggler-Finlay match. A lot of old feuds coming back up now. We had last summer Mike Knox and Finlay brawling, where Mike Knox truthfully and rightfully told Finlay that he had gone soft as a character, which is true. He's much more fan and family friendly and kind of clucky. So seems to be rejuvenating that feud. Ziggler won the match, in all fairness. We did not have to see Rey Mysterio, which makes me happy, because I have had such a hard time liking Rey Mysterio. So maybe that's why this show of SmackDown was really good. I also think that it's a great show, because this proves how much talent there really is on SmackDown right now. Think of it. For this show, WWE SmackDown, that were missing Rey Mysterio, The Undertaker, and Edge. 3 main wrestlers, and still it was a great showing. It was a great SmackDown. I really liked all aspects of it. The women's match, good too. Todd Grisham, JR, Arjun, it was kind of tense for a moment during that Divas match, and it stemmed from Todd Grisham claiming that Gail Kim was from Canada, and Canada could be proud of Gail Kim being the #1 contender for the Divas Championship. Ross tried to correct him, kind of silently saying, well, I thought he said Tokyo first, but I think he said Tampa. But here's the problem with WWE, because right now they're billing Gail Kim from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which is her birthplace. She's from Canada. But when she was wrestling Maryse earlier this year, they billed her from Tampa, Florida. So I don't know. It can be kind of confusing. So maybe to JR, Todd Grisham broke kayfabe. I don't know. It was kind of tense there for a moment, and still Ross Grisham does not really go together that well. Ross is good. Grisham is getting better. Actually, is doing better, and I think Ross is giving him a hard time to test him. And I think Grisham is improving now. He's not making these kind of stupid, dumb remarks undermining what JR is trying to say when building up wrestlers. Back to this week's episode of SmackDown. I really loved seeing the Hart Dynasty in the main event. Jeff Hardy sold his neck injury from the previous week pretty good. He lost the match kind of quickly, which he should have. You don't win a match against 2 wrestlers with a neck injury. We also had CM Punk finally getting a win against John Morrison, and here what I liked also about this show, all these matches were very unpredictable. I could really see John Morrison win this match, and they would put a triple threat match for SummerSlam, TLC triple threat, which would have been fantastic. Now CM Punk got his win, and he needed that win, but it would be cool to see Morrison go 3-0 versus CM Punk, and maybe have Morrison added for the match at SummerSlam, or maybe see them wrestling at Breaking Point. Yeah. Also good to see that Big Show beating JTG kinda easily, Jericho attacking Shaq from behind. I could not understand why JTG should win against Jericho, and I mean, that's really big of Jericho to be able to do that. I mean, what other main wrestlers in the WWE would be able to to lose to JTG in a singles match? Not many, but Jericho did. And I'm really starting to like this feud. I think it was kind of stale at first, but it's good. They built it up for a long time. So they have with Kane, Great Khali, a long time, and as I said before, Night of Champions, I guess they're going to wrestle at SummerSlam, because Great Khali is a huge draw, and they need Great Khali to be wrestling on that pay-per-view in order to enable the entire Indian market when it comes to pay-per-view buys. So it's logical. And back to the tag team match. Big Show winning with his colossal clutch. It's interesting to see now that a lot of wrestlers are using submission moves for victory. Jericho has the Walls of Jericho, Cena STF. You have Big Show's colossal clutch. Triple H applied the sharpshooter at Night of Champions. CM Punk has the submission maneuvers. I don't know if you remember, but when he debuted in WWE, he used submissions to win his matches. And WWE simply perhaps gearing up for Breaking Point, the September pay-per-view, which at least all the main event matches are slated to be submission matches. So WWE tuning that up. That's also good. Already kind of slowly progressing, looking forward to Breaking Point, because that's what they need to do. They need to know what to do next. Yes, SummerSlam, but then how are we going to use SummerSlam to elevate the next pay-per-view? And they're doing that good right now. As for Night of Champions, this Jeff Hardy CM Punk feud, it's really hot. It's been going on for a long time. We also saw Matt Hardy, perhaps, as we will have to accept now, he is a face again. He made his heel turn in January at Royal Rumble. Now he is a face. A lot of people might have complaints saying that's not logical. Well, I can understand having people turn back and forth. This is kind of lame, and it kind of waters the meaning of heel face turns down, making it not seem that important or big of a thing as it was in the 90s, early 90s. But actually I could see it's kind of logical. I mean, brothers are fighting, families are fighting, but in the final end, families more often than not come back together and get along, because there is that bond between them. So it's kind of logical actually for two brothers to reunite. Plus, for you who know, it was never supposed to be Matt Hardy who was the assailant attacking Jeff in December, January. It was supposed to be Christian, who would then debut on SmackDown, but due to internet rumors and the internet wrestling community, who probably by now is crying their eyes out because Matt Hardy is back as a face, and they claim that's not legible, blah blah blah, that's not legitimate, and it sucks, blah blah blah. Well, it's their own fault, because hadn't it been for the internet wrestling community, Christian would be on SmackDown. And that's another big deal that the IWC is always also crying about all the time, that Christian shouldn't be on ECW. Well, you brought it on yourself, you brought it on to Christian, because so really Matt Hardy is back as a face, and hadn't it been for Christian been removed from the slot as the assailant attacking Jeff Hardy with a car and mixing and rigging his pyro, Matt Hardy would still be a face. So his heel turn was just as a replacement and as a temporary solution. So I guess real things are back as they should be, and I'm really looking forward for SummerSlam. I'm really looking forward for a lot of backstage segments. They have great matches, which make this channel surfers, wow, what's this? And channel surfers stay watching SmackDown. And for us watching the entire show, it's also interesting to see things developing during the show. Continuity, storylines during the show, such as Kane abducting Ranjin Singh. And I really like this feud. Kane Khali, long feud, intense feud. That's the second feud that the WWE has rejuvenated besides Mike Knox and Finlay. because they wrestled at WrestleMania 23 and had a triple threat title match later that year with the addition of Batista. So I like this WWE really making the history matter. They remember their own history. They have had a history of not remembering their own history before, but good, great. Looking forward for Raw this Monday. Gonna be a blast with Freddie Prinze Jr. as a special guest host, and I'm also about soon, somewhere after Monday I guess, post my SummerSlam predictions. So I guess that's all for me right now, and be sure to check out my other videos and have a nice day.